Hello guys, welcome again to another new video. So in this video, we're gonna look into how to create a React calendar. So as you can see that this is one of the popular React library. So this is the number of downloads weekly, and this is what we are going to build. And now let's have a look here. So this calendar is for the React app, and we can actually like pick dates, month or year or even decades, and support range of selections, and a lot of languages also supports for this library as well. And we don't need to use the moments needed, which is another library very popular as well. And this is like the process how we're gonna install, and this is like a basic sample usage. So this one here, we just import it right there, and this is the code that we're gonna convert into React hook. So as you can see, this is like the previous one using the set state. So we will try to convert this into React hooks, and this is all of the properties, available properties. So we can format the date, a lot of things here, and we will also use the on change as well. Not only that, we can see there are a lot more here, and this is the other type of properties, and we will try to use a few of this. And this is the author, also their top contributor for this app library. You see that there's a lot of contributors here. So now that the pretty much for this React calendar, and now let's get started. So here, as you can see right now, I only have this simple text says like hi again, and now look at the code, which is a very simple one. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to install this library. So I'm going to click on this, and it's already copied to clipboard. So what right here I can do, I can just paste it right here, install it into the React application. See you guys in a few seconds after this has been installed. Alright, so now we have finished installing this, and let's start this application again. And we're gonna convert this code right here into React hooks as I mentioned earlier. Alright, so here we can see that we need to import it try to restart now. So I'm gonna copy it right here, and now let's just wait for this to finish first. Alright, so now let's go back to the code, and I'm gonna import calendar from the React calendar, and I'll try to create, which is right here, to store that variable. So from here I can do const, and going to put it as date, also set the date as well, equal to what we can see, they store a new date. So we can just copy this here, we're gonna use state here, and we paste the new dates. Alright, so the thing is that right now we are using state, we need to also import it right here as well. So what I can do, instead of import all as React, I'm gonna import state here. So it would look something like this, and yep, without errors, that's good. So next step here is to create a function, which is on change function. So let's do that. Alright, so here just do on change equal to, we are using the arrow function, and what's inside is the set the date. So React hooks, it would look something like set date, and should be date right here. So because we are using the variable right there, we're gonna replace this with the date here. So inside the return, we can just copy this part, and now right here I'm gonna place Hi again with this code. So this is the on change, which is the property of this calendar, React calendar. And right here, we don't actually use this dot because we are using React hooks, and we are calling this on change function. So for this one here, the value equal to the date. We're gonna use whatever the value inside the date variable right here. So we can just use the date directly as we are using the React hooks. All right, I think that should be good to go. Let's see the result on this again. So here we go. We can now see that the application is now rendering a React calendar using this library here. So we can actually change the month, and also right here, this is the year, and I can also click on this as well to see like a select what a month I want, or I can just choose click on this to change the years and click whatever I want, and when I try to refresh, it's going to show me the current date, which is today. The reason is that because right here you can see the use state, I use the new dates. So it picked the current date and store it into this by default, and that's why whatever we can see, the value is equal to the date date, and this is what we can see. So next step here, what I can do, I want to actually see the result. Like say I select a date, so I want to see that value. So I'm gonna put it inside the console log first and just put a date. Now let me inspect this and see the value that I choose. Alright, so it should be this one here. So say this is today and I want to choose 29, which basically my birthday. And here you can see that February, not this one, this is the current one, and this is the one which is Wednesday, January 29, and Australian Eastern daylight time. So the reason is that the time equal to 0 because again we are doing all of this which is focused only on the date but without the time, and the reason we see that because we are using this function which automatically capture the date as well as the time. So also I want to not only see it in here, I want to actually see it underneath this calendar. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to show it, but without using this console, and it would look something like this. So if I'm going to put this, I can tell that there would be an error. So now let's see what the error say. Alright, so you can see that this is actually a date. And if you mean to render a collection of children, use the array instead. So we can see there's an issue. And if we actually want to see the date, what we can do, we try to convert this into string, and we would be able to see the result. Because right here, we are not using some sort of like array that would look something like this, but we are using the date. So we can just use this to convert from the date format, the date type, to string. So now let's see. Alright, so here's the result, and whatever date I pick, we're gonna see that as well. So this is how it looked like. And I might want to also try to use another property. So let's see. Alright, so we might want to try this one here, show week's number. So it will show at the end of the month view. And right now it looks something like this, just the Monday to Sunday. Now we're gonna copy this and put it inside the calendar here. And we see if we change, we got something changed. So here it is, and you can already see that this is the January, which is this is the first week of the year this is the second, this is basically like the number. So right now we are in week number 5, so you can see that there are 5 rows here, and the same as this, 1 2 3 4 5. And the reason why I choose to demonstrate this React calendar to you, because if we think about the importance of using the calendar, is that, say, if we try to enroll into a new course, or it can be become like a member of one service, or we actually want to get the data, like the date from the user, say if they try to create a new account on our application, and we sometimes need to get the birth date of the users, then this would be an ideal that we can just use to implement, and so that they can just choose whatever the birth date of that users. Not only that, I think that it's kind of interesting little projects, and now I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. Alright, so here it is. So let's say this is the date that the count days. So basically, like, this is the start date, this is the end date, and say if I choose 1st January of 2020 until today, which is right here, the 1st of February. And now let me try to calculate the duration, and I want to see the actual number of this here. So you can see that so far from the 1st of January, it's been 31 days already. And if I choose say a few years ago, say 2013, whatever date it is, and then I click on calculate, this is very important to actually understand the exact date. So it's been like 2,572 days. So this is just an idea of implement this, and it would be valuable for, say, the user want to actually know the exact date of an important day until now, how long has it been, or something like that. This is just an idea of that. Before finishing this video, we can see that I click on this, it's going to copy this to the clipboard. So I think that this is something that we can try to implement in the next video, and we might probably look into that one as well. And again, see you guys in the next video.